Hey, it's your boy Young Can 2 coming in. Airshow Sports, we're back. Fight day. Ruiz and Joshua, the rematch for the heavyweight title. I can't wait. Let's go. We in the building. New media, Young Can 2. Hit that like button. Subscribe. We're in the building. So I'm going to give this post-fight reaction to the fight that just went down. If you don't know, third round, Molina was hit with a right hand. It was in the back of the head, but it was because Molina had been ducking his head consistently. It was a good fight. It was kind of awkward. Molina was on the floor multiple times in those rounds. Filip Hrgovic, El Anima, that was a beast. And he continues his knockout streak. He wins third round KO over Eric Molina. Now, Molina did catch Hrgovic with a couple overhand rights that kind of stunned Hrgovic, but it wasn't enough to deter him from, walking him down. Molina was throwing caution to the wind. He came to fight. You could just tell that his corner was telling him to move off the ropes, move. He just wasn't conditioned enough to do what they were asking of him. And eventually Hrgovic got to a point where he was letting his right hand go. He started shooting the right to the body. And Molina he was trapped in a corner. And Molina's way of getting out of trouble was to duck down. Like, he would literally duck his head. And that was part of the reason why he was getting hit in the back of the head. But he would duck his head a couple times and then shoot the overhand right. And he came close to really taking Hrgovic's head off. But Hrgovic prevailed in the end and lives to stay undefeated. Make sure you hit that like button. It's Young Can 2. We're going live coverage of this big heavyweight fight. A live stream reactions. Keep you in the loop of the fight. You can watch it right here on Airshow. Make sure you subscribe. And to keep you in the loop at what's going on in the fight as it goes down. A lot of people I know can't make it to a TV right now or, the DAZN app. So feel free to stay at Airshow and check out what we got going over here. I will definitely describe the fight as vividly and clearly as possible when I commentate today. So I'm excited. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button. We got to get them likes up. Helps with the popularity and visibility of the video. And what are y'all thinking? We need some engagement. What do y'all think about this fight? Ruiz and Joshua. Ruiz coming in at a career heavy 283 pounds. Anthony Joshua coming in at a lighter weight, 237. A lot of people think that Joshua needs to box, stay on the outside, and walk Ruiz into shots as he comes in. For Ruiz, most people think that he needs to do much of the same. And a lot of pundits say that the weight could be detrimental to him. I'm one of those people who believe the contrary. I think that the weight is actually going to be a significant advantage for Andy against Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has given up 40 pounds to Andy Ruiz. I just couldn't believe the weight that Andy came into. It had to be some gamesmanship. But also, I think the fact Andy puts an exclamation point on the word heavyweight, because he literally came in at a very heavy weight. And, at the end of the day, it's heavyweight boxing, right? So can you blame the man for coming in at a strong and comfortable weight where he feels like? No. Some people, there's a misconception out there that it's due to him being complacent and eating too much or not enough conditioning. Nah, man, they got it twisted. They're going to be in for another surprise, I'm telling you. And one of my homies called me this morning. He said, how do you see the early portion of the fight going? And I told him, I was like, the first round, I think Ruiz is going to pick up right where he left off. He's going to dictate the pace of the fight. He's the aggressor. And what people have to look out for, and if you see this in the fight, I promise Andy's going to stop him later in the fight. If Andy trust me. So hit that like button, subscribe. Your boy Young Can 2, we in the building. And we're just getting started here. HRGOVIC fought Molina right now. It was a good fight. Molina was on the deck multiple times. And, HRGOVIC proves that his power is real, and he actually showed a good chin. He took a couple. There's some good fights coming up. We got Ped Cheat Dillian White fighting off of his so-called clearance from this steroid test from UCAD. It's very convenient that they clear him the day before he's already about to step in the ring, and all facilitated by Eddie Hearn, the promoter who got him on this card. It's just sad what's going on in the sport. No accountability, lack of proper administrating in performance-enhancing drugs in boxing. That's what people need to understand and realize, and that's why I'm here, man. I'm not here to be a snitch or anything, but I'm just saying there needs to be transparency in the sport, and when these situations where guys get popped are brushed under the table in broad daylight, that's a problem. So, anyways, Dillian White, who's cleared to fight after getting popped for the steroid Diana ball, is going to be fighting Moritz Wach, a journeyman. He'll be fighting up shortly. And then we got Michael Hunter against Alexander Povetkin for a heavyweight title eliminator bout. That's going to be a good fight. I'm excited to see what Michael Hunter brings to the table against a veteran in Povetkin. Michael Hunter's, like I said, he's a cagey fighter. I love his style. He's a rugged, cagey fighter who knows how to just fight, man. He's just a natural fighter. He's a born fighter. He's got heart. He's smart. He's intelligent. He's a little bit wild at times. But being unpredictable is something you kind of need in boxing. You always got to keep your opponent on their toes. And that's why Deontay Wilder is one of the best in the game, because you really don't know what's coming. You don't know when he's going to throw the right hand. He's so unpredictable in how he sets it up. So that's going to be an interesting fight, Hunter versus Povetkin. And we'll see if Hunter prevails and claims one of those top contender spots in the heavyweight division. That if he gets a win today, he's in a position to challenge for a title. So that'd be a credible win against Povetkin. But I still think Hunter needs to get in the ring with a couple other guys. I like to see these contenders face off. People are saying that if Andy wins, he's going to get automatically stripped because the IBF wants to mandate Pulev as a heavyweight championship fight. Pulev hasn't done a damn thing to warrant him as a mandatory challenger for a title. Who has Pulev beat? And that's why I get frustrated, and all the fans do. And some of the pundits in the sport need to be straight up and push for an undisputed title. I don't care. It doesn't matter the promotion. If Andy Ruiz wins this fight right here, he's entitled to get a unified title, undisputed title with Deontay Wilder, as Deontay Wilder does. But Ruiz has got to take care of business. What I'm basically saying is more people should be pushing toward an undisputed title in the heavyweight division right now. That's what the people want to see. One champion, one face, one name. We want to see that. Part of the reason a lot of people don't want to see Anthony Joshua wins is because if Anthony Joshua wins, we know we're not going to get the undisputed fight. We know he's not going to fight Deontay Wilder. I mean, 2018 will forever be the year that Anthony Joshua ducked Deontay Wilder. 2019 will be the year that Andy Ruiz catapulted himself into stardom in the sport by taking that dude's O. And he's going to do it again. He's going to replicate it. And I'll be the first one to come on here and say I was wrong if he doesn't. But I believe in the man. I've seen the man, and I've seen him up close and personal. And I remember Andy Ruiz talking about beating guys like Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder back when he was still a fringe contender, back when he was still barely recuperating and trying to come back from a huge layoff when everybody really wrote him off. They forgot about him. Got back into the ring, made a couple moves, Beat guys like Kevin Johnson and a couple other tune-ups. He ended up beating Dimitrenko and jumped right into a title shot right when he was hitting his momentum. And timing is everything. They say timing is everything in boxing. And that can't be more true. What's good, Vanity Pierre Lewis? What's good, brother? Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate you. And hit that like button. Let's get them likes up. We got to get popular, yo. Let's go. But so part of the reason that I'm doing this podcast stuff is because I feel like it's important for me to spread my knowledge about the sport. I'm not saying I'm some guru or anything, but I've been reporting on the sport for the last almost 3 years now, and I've seen a lot of things happen, transpired. I've assessed a lot of things in and out of the ring, both sides, you know. So I love talking about the sport in so many different ways. And I love to appreciate the great fighters we have. So, you know, I love to give my input and my take on these fights and these fighters and what goes into it. And you have to respect every fighter that steps in the ring. If you have never stepped in the ring, it's tough to understand. GE says, I got Joshua by close controversial decision. That's not inconceivable. That's actually something that could happen if Joshua stays on his bike and keeps Ruiz at the end of his jab in his right hand. But I think that's highly unlikely. I really believe Andy will close the distance. But I also believe, GE, that Andy he's an intellectual fighter who knows how to box as well. But GE says, I think Ruiz has to KO him to win. If it's close, they're going to give it to AJ. And I've heard that from a few people now. I will counter that by saying this. Of course, AJ is the promotion. He was the one who took the fight in the first place. His title belts were on the line in that first fight. So he kind of just gave Ruiz a shot. And now he's still kind of the headliner because they didn't expect him to lose. People are expecting him to redeem himself. So that being said, Eddie Hearn is obviously Matchroom's promoter, and they're running the show. So if it does go to a scorecard situation and it's a close fight where neither fighter is kind of like taking over, I could see them giving it to AJ. But like I said, I will say this. Ruiz can box too, brother. He knows how to box. He knows how to win rounds. He knows how to assert himself, be the dictator of the fight. You know what I'm saying? So if it does get into a boxing contest, that's dangerous for Anthony Joshua as well. Yeah, it's a high-level chess match that any punch could still put him down. You know what I'm saying? And heavyweight boxing, it's all about who can throw more power punches. Go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It's your boy Young Cantu coming in, staying true to the game. And I'm going to keep going back with GE says, you don't think that weight affects Ruiz's ability to box and move around for 12 rounds? If AJ wants to box and move? Yeah, I do think so. I think the weight was a little bit concerning. But after I've assessed it and sat on it for about a day or two, I think, actually like a few hours, not really a day, but I think that the weight is actually going to be an advantage for Ruiz. GE, and I'll tell you why, brother. Ruiz is coming in at a heavier weight because he wants to land more thud on his shots. With that being said, he's coming in heavier, stronger, more confident, and he has the quicker hands. His hand speed is not going to diminish because he's heavier. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the point I want to make. His hand speed won't diminish just because he's heavier than AJ. So you're bringing in a guy who's heavier, stronger, more confident, and has the superior hand speed. I feel like this is not even a question. AJ's going to have to do something he hasn't done his whole career. Stay on the outside and circle the ring. You know? If he does that, then that'll be a shock to me, and he is greater than I thought he was. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people kind of hyped up AJ throughout his career. My prediction, GE, just so you know, because I'm going to be going live all day. just so you're tuned in right now, I'm taking Andy Ruiz by TKO in the 9th. I think it's going to be a good chess match in those early rounds. I think Ruiz is going to try to cut off the ring. I think he's going to be economic with his punches. I think AJ is going to jab, box, circle the ring, but once the pace slows down and he gets tired, he's going to have to sit down on his punches. He's going to be forced to fight, basically. And when that happens, I think Andy's going to wear him down and chop him down, dude. That's what I see happening. This is heavyweight boxing, man. I went to Andy's camp a couple weeks ago, and I said what's up to him. Like, he said what's up, but I didn't get the interview. And but I did interview Charles Martin. And when I asked Charles Martin about the fight, I was like, yo, you think this fight goes the distance? He said, nah, man, when's the last time you seen a heavyweight fight go the distance? This is heavyweight boxing. You know, one punch changes the fight. You know, the Wilder Fury fight went the distance. That was the last big fight to really go the distance. But, you know, even at that, Wilder knocked him down in the 12th, and it was like basically done. Like, everybody thought the fight was over. Fury miraculously got up from that knockdown. But this fight is not going 12. I got Ruiz knocking AJ out in the 9th. I think it's going to be a situation where Ruiz has dropped AJ, and AJ is trying to find a way to survive, but Ruiz cuts off the ring and just lands some power bombs on him. The referee's going to have to stop. He's going to have to stop the fight. He's going to step in. That's how I see this fight going. I may be wrong, and if I am wrong, I will come on here and admit that, hey, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So you can't get them all right, but I believe in Andy Ruiz because of the background I've had in the sport and being around him, seeing how he operates, knowing his backstory, how he wasn't training to his fullest abilities before he got to Manny Robles, before he got to Legends. He was supremely compromised in his career because he admitted himself. He did everything half-assed up until that point of the Joseph Parker fight for the WBO. He was doing everything half-assed, and now that he's fully dedicated and he knows the responsibility of becoming a champion and staying a champion, I really feel that I just don't think he's going to lose, bro. Like, first ever Mexican heavyweight champion, confident, a chip on his shoulder because people are still doubting him. But, yeah, I'm going to take a quick break. We're going to go back to the stream. I will come back with some more live reaction and pre-fight talk as we get closer to this big fight for the heavyweight title. Andy Ruiz Jr., the only man to stop AJ and give him his only blemish of his career, is about to rematch him in the same year that he defeated him. First big championship fight in the country of Saudi Arabia. I can't wait for this one. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned.